Hi guys, Ahmed here from Castle Podiatry. I hope everyone's keeping safe and we're all doing our bit with social distancing. Finding ways to keep active and exercise can be quite tricky in this day and age. However, I hope we all can go for a walk or a run if we can to get some fresh air and to exercise. That's where our running shoes or athletic shoes come into place. Today we're going to talk about some different type of lacing technique we can do in case you get a bit of slippage around the back of the heel, or you might have a wide feet, or you might even have a bump or a numbness on top of the foot. So today I'm going to show you some very easy and simple way we can modify some of the lacing technique around the shoes to hopefully help you walk or run a little bit better. So let's have a look at it. So let me show you guys one of the first techniques, which is what we call the lock technique. The lock technique is mainly used, as the term suggests, to lock the ankle and stop the slippage around the back of the heel and give the foot as much security as possible. So instead of traditionally crossing over the lace, what we do, I'll get you to undo the lace at the top, and all we're going to do is go back to the same eyelet and make a loop. Like so. We do the same thing over on the opposite side, and once you've done that, take the opposite ends off the lace and drag it away, and this way you've locked the ankle. If you've got narrow ankles, you can even do the same lock technique on the tiny little eyelet right at the top. And the idea is, again, once you've done up your laces, the foot's not going to slip, it's locked in place, the ankle's stable, the heel's stable, and that gives you the best positioning, so to speak, as far as running or jogging is concerned. So please give the lock technique a go. So the second technique we're going to talk about today is what we call the offset lacing. Offset lacing is used if you've got a bump on top of the foot, or someone with a higher arch, or even sometimes some people may experience some numbness around the top of the feet as well. And as a result, that's where this type of lacing comes into effect. So let's pretend that you've got a bump on top of your feet somewhere around that region, and we want to offload it, or we want to offset it, so to speak. So what I do is I undo my laces from the top all the way down, and instead of crossing it over, going to the next eyelet, what we're going to do, we can skip one or two eyelets and literally skip that whole area and go right down to the top. And by doing so, we're going to offload or offset that whole area. And once I've done that, I can either cross it over or do a lock technique if need be, and do my normal lacing technique. And while doing that, what we've done is we've offloaded that whole region. As long as the ankle is secure at the top, the foot should be nice and stable, but that reduces the pressure on top of the foot. If you've got a bump or a high instep, that technique helps quite a lot. And again, you can play with that. You can go straight from there into the eyelet straight after it, or go right to the top, whatever your needs may be. You might have to just experiment and give that a good go to see what works for you. But the offset technique works really, really well to reduce pressure on top of the feet if you've got a bump, numbness, or you've got a high arch or an instep. And the third type of lacing technique we're going to talk about today is increasing the forefoot width, especially if you've got a bunion or wide feet. Some joggers do come with seamless mesh around that region, which actually gives you that extra bit of width or movement around the toe, but some of them don't. So what you need to make sure that we can do different type of lacing around the bottom, really to loosen the bottom area as much as we can. You just need to make sure when you're buying a pair of shoes or joggers, and if you've got wide feet or a bunion, just make sure it's got quite a few laces running down through, so that way we can open that up. And the way this type of forefoot width lacing works is we pretty much redo the lacing completely. So instead of traditionally starting from the bottom, we're going to go and start right perhaps from the second eyelet, skip the first one through, and that way you can do your normal lacing as required, crisscross your way up to the top as need be. But that way what we've done, we've just gained ourselves that extra bit of width or extra bit of room around the front part of the foot. So this technique works really, really well, again, to reduce pressure on either side of your toes, if you've got wide feet, to give you a bit of an extra room, but the only requirement is you just want to make sure you've got a few laces to play with, otherwise it won't work. So that's a good effective way to give your feet that extra bit of room if need be. So I hope this video helps, but please practice these lacing techniques and let us know how you go. For any other information, please visit our website, castlepodiatry.com.au.